Hi everyone. I interviewed a friend of mine that is a licensed clinical social worker. She worked in the Metropolitan State Hospital when she first started her career as a clinical social worker. Um, and now she's in private practice in the city that I live in here in California. Her specialties include couples therapy, mood disorders, sexual addictions, and issues of adolescence. Um, the working environment that she is in right now is a private practice, so her hours are very flexible. She can choose when she wants to work. She says she knows other social workers who have chosen not to do that because there's some pressure involved with owning your own business or your own practice. And so some others have chosen just to work at a hospital and then they have an 8 to 5 job. So she said there are options. You can do your own business where you have a lot more flexibility with hours, or you can do uh, work at a hospital. Then you don't have as much flexibility, but then you have benefits and you have other things. Um, Her working environment, she says she works from 9 to noon, and then she goes back to work from about 5 to 7 to accommodate those who work during the day, the clients that she has that work during the day. She said over the years, she's been in practice for 16 years, and she said over the years she has changed her schedule to accommodate her family so that she can be with her family when she wants to be, and then when her husband is home from work, she goes and works. She said the typical stressors are that you hear a lot of sad stories. She said it's kind of hard to deal sometimes with the hard things that you learn about people. She says that there are stressors that go along with owning your own private practice because it's like running your own business. So you have to think about making enough money to cover your office space and your overhead and getting new clients and all the paperwork that you need to do on your own. And then she also said that in private practice you're alone. So she said it is challenging a little bit because there's really nobody to bounce things off of or talk to about something. If you have a client that's really hard, there's really no one that she can talk to. So she said it can be a little bit lonely to own your own practice. She said the typical benefits are that she can decorate her office however she wants to. She can choose her own hours and work whenever she is convenient for her. But she does have to think about her own private health insurance and a retirement fund. Her common job tasks, she says she makes a lot of phone calls, a lot of time on the phone, and has to do a lot of paperwork. And she said obviously listening, so sitting and listening to people when they talk to her. And then she says every 2 years you have to accumulate 36 hours of continuing education. And then you also have to keep charts on all of your patients and keep those charts current. She doesn't bill insurance. She accepts cash only for her practice, and so she doesn't have to worry about billing insurance. Education requirements, I learned a lot talking to her about education requirements. She said that you can get your undergraduate degree in quite a few different things. That's not a huge deal, what you get your undergraduate in. But she said when you go to get your graduate, your master's degree, she said if you get your master's in marriage and family therapy, you have fewer options. And if you get your master's in social work, it opens a lot of doors for you. So you can still practice in marriage and family, but if you get your degree in social work. But if you get your degree in marriage and family, you can only practice in marriage and family. So she suggested getting a degree in social work. After you graduate, you have to do 3,000 hours, supervised hours of therapy and take a written test. And then she said that when she got her license, she also had to do a verbal exam, and she wasn't sure if that is still the case. The starting salary is around $40,000 a year. And at the Metropolitan Hospital where Julianne worked when she first started right after she graduated, She made $40,000 a year, and I looked it up online just to see if that had changed because it was 16 years ago. And it said a social worker, a licensed clinical social worker at that hospital at this time makes about $53,000 a year. That's a starting salary, and an experienced social worker online, it said you could make around $73,000 a year. Juliana explained that right after graduation, it's necessary to work somewhere else to build up a client base and also to gain experience. And during the time that she did that, she said that she kept 60% of what she earned, and she paid 40% to the office that she worked in to cover office space, client staff, billing services. And she said that was the arrangement that she had when she first graduated. The miscellaneous career information that she said that building your own practice takes a lot of time, and you really can't work full-time being a therapist unless you have offices in different areas, because she said usually in one area there's not enough people to build a full-time practice that have issues that you need to help them with. So she said if you have offices in more than one location, in 3 or 4 locations, or 2 or 3 locations, then you could probably do it full-time. But she said the idea of treating clients 40 hours a week, she said, would be overwhelming, and it would be hard on someone. So she said generally most clinical social workers don't work with clients 40 hours a week. She said for her right now, she generally carries about 20 clients, and she said right now she has 28 clients. And she said that's about the size that you would probably keep your practice at. She also said at the very end, she said it's a very rewarding job. She really enjoys her work. She feels like it's a way to make a difference in people's lives, and it's very satisfying to have somebody come in who's struggling with something and be able to help them and help make their life better. So she said it's very rewarding, and she really enjoys it. It was a really fun interview, and I hope the information was helpful. Have a good day.